Welcome back to the Jetboat project. We have reached a crucial stage of the project now. It is cutting the boat hull. There is no going back if we make a mistake on this. So we're going to have to take some careful measurements, see what we want to cut out, and then make the cut. Okay, so we can see that there's a little bit of a flat area on each side. The idea is to make the cut in the boat approximately this wide, and then that will sit down on top. So our edge to edge is, we'll say it's about 21 inches. And let's just check a few more places for consistency. Yeah, that line does hold the whole way down the hull, so about 21 inches wide. Let's see how that looks over here on the. All right, so when we measure across, we have 21 inches from this chine to this chine. So I think we'll try to cut right along the edge of that where that meets the boat, so we can keep that and right on this side, and then drop the hull in from the jet ski down from the top. Hopefully that'll fit okay. We may have to make some adjustments, but that'll be a good starting point. Okay, so now how about for the length? The length to the back of the hull is about 64 inches, maybe a hair less. But also there is a little bit of an angle here. We need to see how that corresponds with the boat. About 1.5 inches is the offset, or the angle over the height of it, and the height is, we'll call it 10.5 inches. This does have an angle out also, which is good because that matches the hull of the jet ski. So if I put my sliding T-bevel on this, that's my angle. Now, what's that angle over 10.5 inches? Well, we can draw that out pretty easily here. Right there. So it looks like it's about, let's see that. This angle is about 2.5 inches off of vertical over 10.5 inches of height. So that means this has more angle on the back than the jet ski hull does. Let's go confirm that. So this represents the boat hull angle. Okay. And we can see that it is a little bit more of an angle on it, but it's not too far off. So that's a good thing. So the cut will be from there to there, and approximately 64. And our height here, 10.5. Now we need to find out how wide the notch needs to be in the back of the boat. So, and does it have taper? Let's say about 13 inches. We can always cut more off, but we can't so easily add it back. Top. I would say about 13 inches gives us some coverage across the whole way. 13 inches should be pretty decent. Maybe we'll start with 12 3/4. Okay. And I think for starters, what we'll do is we'll cut straight up here and then angle over. We'll leave some triangle there to attach. Do the same thing up here. And then I know I've seen some other videos where guys have left a flap of aluminum here that kind of overlaps onto the hull. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'll probably make a side-to-side cut, probably in this neighborhood. But then these two cuts will come up all the way to here. And then what will happen is this flap will flip up, but it'll be cut on both sides. So the flap will be back here. This slot will get cut all the way up to the 64-inch mark. All right, this is definitely a measure twice, maybe 3 times situation before you cut. So there's no going back, as we said. So I checked all my measurements. I'm pretty happy with it for a starting point. I'll probably have to trim it some more, but I think we're pretty close and in the ballpark of where we need to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up and we're going to make the cut. Then I'll show you what blade I'm going to be using for making the cut. We're professional here. Only professional saw blades for us. Now this is just a blade I got off Amazon. It's for aluminum cutting, and hopefully it cuts a thinner aluminum like this. I'm hoping this is going to work well. It says 3/32 to 1/4 wall, so that is definitely thicker than what this is. We'll try a little section and see if it works well. If so, we'll send it. All these ribs are cut through, but this needs cut across for that piece to come out. Yeah. We have the exciting part, removing the cut piece. for this flap to work, I'm going to have to cut across here and drill out these 8 rivets to remove this piece so that that will then flap up and go over the hull. Pretty neat tools. If you never saw a spring tool for nail setting, there's a little chisel in there. So this is the center punch. Alright, set my depth to just barely cut through this. I don't want to cut into this if I can help it. Overall, I'd say that's a success. There is still this other cross member in there that's attached right across here. That's also going to have to come out. So we made some good progress on cutting the boat hull. We have the shape pretty much roughed in. And before we can really fit the hull, I'm gonna have to take these cross supports out. But before I do that, I want to weld some diagonal angles in before I cut those out so the boat doesn't lose its shape. It'd probably be okay, but just as a precaution, I want to put some angle supports in first. So we'll stop there for now, do some supports, and then we'll continue with the fitting.